that head and spine line now. That's where you got the problems. That's going to tell you two things. It's going to tell you how smart you are by how straight across your hand that line goes. Yours is very intelligent, by the way. Your line goes right across your palm. Very smart line. But if you got problems in that spine, it's going to show on that line. Find your chart that says understanding your cervical spine. Look down at the bottom of that chart. Let's see, let me find it here. Oh, you see a picture there of a vertebrae. And if those vertebrae get turned out of place at all, it's going to disrupt your spine. So, find your chart now that says Chart of Effects of Spinal Misalignments. And you'll see that, you'll see that all marked up. I don't give you this information because I'm just a palm reader. I've got a master's degree in health education. And when I was finishing my I'm an old school teacher. When I was finishing my master's degree, I was in my 40s, and I started reading these palmistry books, and they had so much health stuff in them, I couldn't believe it. Then I found this old book written by a medical doctor, Dr. Eugene something or other, and he told how you could see the spine in your hand. Well, the spine runs your whole body. And if those vertebrae get pushed out of place or knocked out of place at all, it affects your body. So on that chart of effects of spinal misalignments, see the spine on the left side there. I've circled your parts that are kind of knocked out of place. And I say it's easy to have your spine out of place. Car wrecks, bike wrecks, horse wrecks. Where do you live? Toronto, Canada. You know what rodeos and cowboys and things are, don't you? Doing gymnastics in school. Oh, gymnastics are so hard on your spine. Jumping on trampolines. That's hard on your spine, too. And anything, doing contact sports at all. Like, let's see, what would girls... I don't know what games you do. Soccer is hard on you. Football, of course, is really tough. You got boys, don't you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you watch it. If you got them in football or something, you watch their little spines. Make sure that their little spines are okay, because they can easily get hurt. Yours shows that you are... Now, go back to that chart that says Chart of Effects of Spinal Misalignments. See the spine, and then the next column is the name of the vertebrae. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, then your tailbone, sacrum, your coccyx. Now the next column is the areas that that nerve goes to. Those two nerves, remember I told you the two nerves come out of each one of those vertebrae? Nerves come off the spinal cord. That's the area that the nerves go to from each one of those vertebrae. Your head, your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your thyroid, your heart, your lungs, etc., etc. And then that last column is the effects. And that's the effects that you get if that vertebrae is turned out of place. Headaches, nervousness, depression, strokes, ADD, ADHD, hay fever, laryngitis, stiff neck, heart problems, lung problems, stomach trouble, etc. Alright, go back to the spine now. So underneath the Jupiter finger, it's going to show your cervical spine, 1 through 7 cervical. Underneath the Saturn finger, it's going to show your thoracic spine, 1 through 12. Just a minute, let me double check that. Yeah, 1 through 12. Underneath the Sun finger, it's going to show your lumbar spine, that lower back part. Now, boy, that's out on yours pretty bad. And then underneath that little finger, the Mercury finger, that's your tailbone. Your tailbone might be out just a little tiny bit, because see, you're out clear down there at the end of your spine. might be turned out of place a little bit. Looks to me like you had an accident of some kind to mess up, or you played some type of sports or something that messed up your spine, or did gymnastics or something like that. So, right there under your Jupiter finger, see where you're out at the top there? Cervical, about your 3C, all down to 7C. And then down into your thoracic area, clear down to the, all about the 3 or 4T, which includes your heart and your lungs, your gallbladder. So, out in that neck area. Now, if you're out in that top part of that spine, it usually throws you out in the lower spine to compensate. Either that or you've hurt your lower spine pretty bad. Because then look over there, right under the word head, where it says head and spine line. See that big old triangle thing? Oh, did I have you look up there to see where if you're out of place, look up there where it says lines of energy. If you see the islands in any of the lines, they're a break in the energy of the line. And the islands can be little ovals, little triangles, generally triangles with kind of rounded corners, little circles. And that's what's out in your spine line. It's showing those little marks. So you're out clear down there in your thoracic area till about 3T. That's your lungs. Now, if you're out the top, it throws you out the opposite way in your lower spine. So then, look down in your lower spine, that the tail end of the thoracic area, about 9 or 10 thoracic, and then your whole lumbar area is out. Now, I'm not sure if your tailbone's out or not. Boy, you'll know it if it is. Because you've got a little circle there underneath your mercury finger, a little tiny bit into your mercury finger. I'll tell you, that's painful if that tailbone area is out of place, that sacrum neck coccyx. So you're probably going to have to go see a chiropractor and get straightened up. Let me tell you a little therapy that you can do for your, right there at the base of your neck. You get that from leaning over the computer. I used to read palms in 1990, 95, 96, 97. And people weren't out of place in that base of the neck area. But boy, since the advent of the computer, almost everybody's out of place right at the base of that neck. I call it the interneck. And, because right where it says base of neck, that's where you lean over, and people lean over those computers for hour after hour. I tell a lot of my office workers this little therapy that they can do and pop that neck in place. If you sit up straight in a chair, or stand up, it's even better. Put your arms right straight out in front of you. Now lock your fingers together and turn your palms over backwards. Raise your arms above your head. That means your elbows are straight. Your palms are facing the ceiling. Now push your arms back behind your head. Back, 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 back. And it'll go pop, pop, pop. Well, if it's not out too bad, it'll pop. Sometimes if it's turned out really bad, it won't pop. But don't worry about the pops. My medical doctor told me that that's just the vertebrae moving back in place when you're doing that little exercise. So try that for your neck area. And don't worry about the little pops. Like I say, it's just gases releasing. But that's not going to straighten up your lower back. And then underneath, see where it says the headline, underneath the money line there. See where it says health line, internal organs? That's all stressed. You should see one clean line that goes from your fate line up to where the money line starts. And yet yours is stressed. You're getting 3 or 4 or 5 lines in there. And a couple of them are broken. The internal organs are your colon, your spleen, your liver. Usually the organs down there in the lower part of your back. And that's where you're getting some stress. But like I say, you'll probably have to get a chiropractor to straighten up that lower back. I can't give you any little quickie therapies to straighten that up like you can do on your neck area there. And in fact, the chiropractor will straighten the whole spine out. You won't believe how much better you will feel when you get that spine straightened up and get that stress out. I think you're getting a little bit of depression anyway from that top part. See, if you're out that 6C, that says depression. That's just around the base of the neck area there. Let's see, you didn't say if you were getting depression. Osteoporosis, heart murmur. Oh, you're out of place right where your heart nerves are. Low blood pressure. When you're out of place in that spine, it affects your blood pressure. Anyway, get that spine fixed and you won't believe how much better you'll feel.